Hello, my name is Ignacio Treches. I'm the creator of Dying Breed, and here in Scene World Postcard with him.
Hey, it's the Scene World Podcast. I'm me, and he's that other guy, and we're the Scene World Podcast.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. In a minute, we will be talking with Joaquín Alviz from Techandising. I'm sorry, it's techandising.com.
Yeah.
So that's in just a second. We've got. Jörg doesn't have any news, which is kind of a miracle because that's usually he's the one that knows everything.
Yeah, I got diarrhea for the last 7 days, so that was my news.
That is a sentence that has just been uttered on a worldwide podcast.
Yeah.
So,
well, I prefer the slang term. I prefer the slang term the runs.
Yes. The get up and goes.
Well, you just hope you make it in time from the bedroom to the bathroom, right?
Chocolate fondue, you know.
Ooh.
Vey. Yeah, well, so I'll be doing some news here, talking a bit about things. It'll be quick. We're not going to keep this intro that long because we're people that have things to do. We're important. We're important personalities in the world, and that's a lie.
Our next guest will be one of those important inventors again.
Yeah. Okay, so firstly, I see there is a funny because we're talking to someone from is he Spain? In Spain?
Yeah, he's Spain.
Also, again, I didn't make this interview. Again, things things came up, and I just wasn't able to be there. But it's interesting that he's in Spain because this news is also from Spain. There is a Spain. A guy in Spain that goes by Engineer is his handle.
Oh.
And a couple days ago, he posted a prototype on PCBWay for an Amiga 500 replacement keyboard. Board. So there is
yet another one.
Well, so it's not the keyboard itself, right? So it's not the thing with the keys. On the Amiga, there is I'll move my mic so you can see the Amiga. There is, now you can't see me. Over here, this part of it, where these little lights are. These lights are part of a board that is attached to that keyboard. And that little board is like the keyboard controller and does some other stuff. It's got like there's actually a 6502 derived chip right on that little board handling the keyboard inputs. So it's got its own little, just like the 1541 has its own processor and it is its own computer. The Amiga keyboard kind of has that little microprocessor and stuff happening on the board. So what this is a replacement for that little board, I think. Yeah. Which is the prototype uses an Arduino 2650, but then there's an Atmega 1284P, and I guess that sits in the keyboard controller socket. I don't really know. I've actually replaced this keyboard controller once before, because the Amiga keyboards can be weird at times. But yeah, that's cool. So that's there. That's another thing that helps keep these machines kicking into the future, despite their extreme decrepitude. There is also, and I found this the other day, because it's something that I might actually be able to use. There's a website, RetroPixels Plus. That is it's a image converter in your browser, right? A browser-based image converter that takes a modern image and compresses it, or not compresses, but converts it into a C64. I don't think it exports. Does it export? Yeah, it does. It exports it as a file that will run in the 64. It will convert it into different C64 formats, and then you can export that as a PRG file that you can use on your actual C64. It even lets you choose whether it's going to be PAL or NTSC. There's Koala Multicolor, and Art Studio High Res, which I think are pretty similar. Maybe Art Studio is a little bit different. I think Koala and Run Paint might be identical in like structure. Also FLA, oh my god. Also FLI and AFLI and new FLI. All those kinds of different formats that I don't know how to do anything with.
FLA, by the way, was Flash Audio. For anybody who wonders.
That it doesn't export graphics in Flash Audio. Sorry.
And FLV were Flash videos. Both, by the way, dead formats because Flash is no more.
Yeah. So this was, I guess, Michel Debris was the original designer of the RetroPixels project, and this Jamie Adalpix, I don't know how to pronounce that last name, but he has built this on top of that original project. So it's a. We'll put a link to where you can get that, or not get it, but you can use it. That might be something that I've needed to get some graphics done for a while, and I've been having some real difficulty with it. But maybe I can use this to do some cheating.
Nice.
Finally, I saw a trailer last night had dropped for a movie called Beam Me Up Sulu.
Oh, okay.
This is the story of some dudes, some I think they're like high school kids at the time, in 1985. They wanted to make a Star Trek fan film. And so they did a Star Trek fan film, and at one point they were like, because they're kids, and kids don't have don't have those filters that stop you from taking risks. They said, wouldn't it be awesome? And also, let me rewind a little bit. They were Asian American kids that were making this, and that were really, Sulu had been a role model. So they decided to make this movie, and they thought, wouldn't it be cool if George Takei would be in it? And so they got in touch with him, and he agreed. And so they recorded, or they produced an entire fan film with George Takei in 1985, which then was lost. They never finished it. They never finished it because I guess they lost the film. And recently, it looks like they found it, and so now they're finally putting it out. And this movie is a documentary of them making the film, and the whole story behind it, which is a really interesting and really smart way of getting around the fan film
by the way, you
guidelines.
have a clicking noise.
Oh, sorry, I'm playing with a USB stick. It's a really cool way, or a really clever way, really, of getting around Paramount's guidelines or restrictions on fan films. Because right now, you can make a fan film, but there are rules that it can't be over 15 minutes, I think. You can't have a multi-part thing that runs in like several 15-minute sections. No one that has ever worked on a Star Trek series is allowed to be in it. So no actors, no producers, no anything like no background guys. There's a whole lot of restrictive things.
Okay, so it's basically useless.
Yeah, more or less. But I know that they did give allowances for some films that were done before, like the like Star Trek Continues, which is the one it's one of the really high quality productions. They had, I think, 2 or 3 episodes already filmed when the guidelines came into effect, and Paramount said you can release the ones that are already done, but you can't make new ones after these guidelines go in. So really, because this one was made in '85, it maybe could have fallen under that exception because it was made before the rules went into effect. But either way, I think it's a cool thing to not only show the actual production, but how it was put together within the context of the time period and the cultural the cultural zeitgeist of Star Trek at the time, and also the fact that George Takei said, yeah, I'll do that, and actually came out and filmed the thing with these guys.
That story reminds me a bit of just that teenagers who don't have filters for risk.
Mm-hmm.
That's very similar to the story of Broken's War 2.5.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Yeah,
a group of teenagers making their own point-and-click adventure. No idea about coding, game design whatsoever.
Yeah, right. It's that not even risk, I would say, is the right word. Maybe that like lack of confidence, right? Like there are times I remember being a kid, right? I did stuff for Lodestar when I was young, and I remember calling up Fender and Jeff to ask them a question that they didn't need. I was like a 14-year-old kid. They didn't need to talk to me. But these guys, they took time out and they dealt with me, and they encouraged and helped me along and stuff like that. And it's the kind of thing like today, it would never occur to me like, oh, I should call these guys whose name I see in a magazine. Like, it would be like, no, I'm not calling them. I don't want to, be a bother, or I don't want or I wouldn't want the risk of rejection, from calling and not getting what I wanted. But, when you're younger, you don't have that kind of filter, that you don't have that fear of being unsuccessful. So you don't even try. Right. And you're one of those. Well, you're also, you've got a different, you're more of because this is a thing, like an established thing that we do, it makes more sense. You're not just a dude calling up because you want to talk to someone or ask a question or something. You are the representative of a media entity. Yeah, right. So you're the representative of that in that instance. So
but it
makes
didn't
more
start
sense.
This way.
Right. Well, when was the first ones the first time you started cold calling people?
For Scene World, I think must be
no. Before Scene World.
Before Scene World, that was when I still had the idea. I remember one of my first calls was with Jerry Ellsworth, where I pitched her the idea of my disc Mac, and I remember calling Lee Novak, who did Mr. Mouse, asking him for permission to use it with my magazine project, and he gave the permission because we are using it. That was long before it was released to the public. On a D81 disc image. That was long before the first code was written.
Yeah.
It was basically, cold. I don't know if it was cold calling, but in the case of Lee Novak,
Did they know you were going to call? Because if they did, then
Lee Novak didn't know. No.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
But Jerry Ellsworth knew, of course, because she said it was easier to speak on the phone than sending emails back and forth all the time.
But even the email could be.
I had no idea how famous she was, and that like whole America in the retro field was having a crush with her. I didn't know that.
But there's
26 years ago.
well, but there's like there's other things too, like when we were doing the whole when we were doing the Roy Schilt debacle, there were people that he mentioned. This was in between for listeners that were not or watchers actually that weren't there, that don't remember that bit. A bit ago, a couple years back, we did a Roy Schilt podcast, 2-parter.
3 parts actually.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. And
but officially, you're right. Officially, it was 2 interviews.
Well, we recorded it in 2 parts. And
exactly.
In between, and at the end of the first one, he got in touch with us again and was like, "Here's people that you should talk to." And then we were kind of left like, okay, well, I guess we have to talk to these people. And they were other people that were, high score people or people in the gaming competition realm like he was. And I remember calling one. I had to call one while I was actually at work when I did that, and it was one of the most painful things I've ever had to do, because I do not like cold calling people out of nowhere. That really kind of like I probably spent like 30 minutes pacing before I got the nerve to hit the call button. It's nerve-wracking.
But there was no option to not do it, because you would make sure Roy would ask you about it. Ask you about your phone call and how the conversation went and so on.
Yeah, but either way, we're talking about the Star Trek film, or this fan film. It's a documentary. It looks really cool when it comes out. I don't know when.
What
it's
a jump!
Out, but what's that?
What a jump! Jump in topic.
Oh, yeah. Well, we digressed. We had a digression. But anyway,
we derailed.
Same thing, digression, derailment.
Yeah, anyway, I have to say I watched the first 3 episodes of Star Trek Academy, and it's amazing. It's amazing. You should. They have managed to combine the storylines of Voyager, of what was the other one? With Michael Byrne.
Discovery,
and Strange New Worlds. Amazing.
How did they combine this? I can see, because the Doctor was in Voyager, and he's in this, and then this is taking place right after Discovery. So I know some of the characters, like Tig Notaro and whatnot are in the thing, but I think Mary Wiseman's in an episode. But how did they bring in Strange New Worlds?
A graveyard. With with Chris Pine and all those names on it.
But
in one scene they glimpse over a graveyard of all the fallen heroes of the Federation, and of one tombstone there is Chris Pine.
Chris Pike.
Chris Pike, sorry, yeah.
Chris Pine.
Yeah, he's his. Pardon?
Chris Pine is the guy who played Captain Kirk.
I was confusing the name of the actor.
So I guess we're because he goes to Talos 4 at the end. So I guess that when he dies, he gets repatriated and buried elsewhere again.
Yeah. Anyway,
maybe it's just a memorial. Maybe he's still kicking around on Talos 4.
Anyway, they actually it's amazing. So it totally makes sense. Finally, all those loose ends are tied together.
Well,
amazing.
Is it is it? Because it's, you figure it's like, the year 29 or 3000 or something, and so I'm sure
I mean, let's be honest. Strange New World doesn't speak about the burn. And
no, because Strange New Worlds is 1,000 years before the burn.
Exactly. So
which I still think is
to make
silly.
Yeah, Yeah.
It's a silly concept. An alien guy got so sad that he screamed, and all the dilithium blew up. I mean,
Well,
that's a little weak, but
they got him
whatever.
under control. However, in the end, yeah.
Not only that, but his scream traveled faster than light because all the ships in the galaxy all exploded at once.
I know
Which,
the story. I saw
physics,
the episode where they explained how it happened.
The physics of it confuses me, but whatever. I'm not.
Anyway,
it's Star Trek. I'm not gonna.
Anyway, Star Trek, Starfleet. Well, Star Trek Academy, what it's called, a Starfleet Academy. It's really good because it's touching on all those storylines. It's great, and hence you see a lot of actors from the other. You see this engineer who is like Stone Age on in the crisp in the I don't want to spoil too much, to be honest, but well, watch it. It's
Okay.
really making the it's really connecting everything. I was like, wow, now it totally makes sense.
I did see that there was. I watched part of the first episode. I didn't have time to go through all of it, and I did see that it also mentions there is a Prodigy reference. When the holographic, there's a character that's a hologram, and she really looks up to the Doctor because he's like the very first one, and she's like, "You are the mentor too," and she mentions a bunch of people, and then she also mentions somebody from Prodigy. I think Gwen. Captain whatever. Gwen whatever, and the Doctor just kind of stops and turns around and has this look on his face, like something bad happened with that name.
Ooh.
And he was in Prodigy. The Doctor was in Prodigy. So
was that a movie again, right? It was a movie.
No, Prodigy was the kids animated show.
I didn't see that.
It was good. It was good. There was some really cool stuff in that show. It was for children largely, but I thought it was entertaining. It was very, very Star Trek as far as like the plot lines, and it covered a lot of things like we learned what happened to the original Galileo shuttlecraft on the Enterprise, because we went from having the Galileo to no, actually, I'm sorry, I think that was the Galileo 2, because the first Galileo blew up. They destroyed it, and then the second one was after that. I don't know. There was there's an episode about a crashed shuttlecraft on a planet, and there's one episode where they're bringing in like a simulated bridge officers, so it's all like the Doctor is Gates McFadden, and security is Odo from Deep Space Nine, and all these different, like the best of each is who the thing is bringing up. So it's really cool to see all these characters that have never interacted before being on the bridge together, even though they're just holograms in a simulation for these kids to practice against. It's cool to and voiced by the original actors, or taking taking audio samples. Except
Odo.
Yeah, well, again, because Odo, because Rene Auberjonois had passed away by that point, they used stock audio from episodes of Deep Space Nine to voice him. And there's another character, I think, as well. Like they've got Scotty is the engineer. So again, he's voiced by old clips of him. But still, it's entertaining to see all these people.
Did they manage with the audio quality and stuff to be seamless?
Oh sure. Yeah. No, it's a good thing. Yeah, it was done well. So it was cool to see these people that normally wouldn't be on a bridge together, even if it's these, like kind of.
It's a cartoon or 3D series or whatever.
It's CG. It's animated. It's not like Lower Decks animated. It's animated like I can't even think of something because I don't really watch cartoons. But
I see.
But it's like
not
3D.
It's not hand drawn.
It's not hand drawn. No. It's very stylistic, but but you kind of forget it soon.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, I guess that means let's jump over to Spain.
Let's stop talking about Star Trek and.
Right.
I kept fiddling. I was going to put my com badge on, but I kept forgetting.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So today we have another guest, and today we are speaking to Joaquín Alviz from Spain, and you are a founder and I would say creative head of the portal Techandising, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was supposed to be something like merchandising, but technology merchandising. So I called it Techandising, and no one is able to pronounce it as I had in my mind when I created it. But yeah, it's like Techandising, more or less.
I mean, what was your starting point in tech?
I have been my whole life in tech, actually, since I was a little kid. I don't know, my first big present from my family was a computer. I started with the Atari 2600. Then I have my Sinclair, my Spectrum, that I'm going to show you if you want.
Oh, right.
I
thought that was more like a British thing. Okay.
my good friend here.
Okay, interesting.
And then 386, then Pentium, then a lot of things, and I was a tech guy from the very beginning. Then I went to college, to university, to have a Master of Science in telecommunication engineering. And I have been working in technology ever since. So yeah, I'm pretty much a tech guy.
And now you are a content creator as a daily living?
No, it's actually more like a side thing.
Okay.
Because
okay.
Yeah, exactly. What I do for my living is I work in a small software company, which is called Renaissance, and we create especially VR and 3D and some virtual experiences for airlines, mostly for airline aviation industry. So we have something called the 3D seat map.
Okay.
So when you are selecting your seat, you are going to buy your ticket and you select your seat. We show you in 3D, 360 degrees immersive view from the exact position of the seat that you select. So there are no two seats equal in the whole fleet. It helps people really understanding what they are going to pay for. So that's my living job. And the Techandising platform is more like a side project.
Interesting. Yeah, I remember last time I booked a ticket with Lufthansa. I asked I need much space for my legs, and then the clerk on the phone, he answered, all our seats are shit. I'm like, okay, that's good to know, but yeah, well, economy. What can you do?
Yeah, there is a whole world outside the economy. If you are willing to pay extra for business,
right?
Lufthansa has some amazing products.
Yeah. Well, nowadays you have Economy Plus for extra leg room, but back in 2013 when I was flying to Peru, they didn't have that.
Yeah, no, it's a long flight.
A long time ago. Long flight. I think it was 12 hours. Well, first you would go to France and then to Lima, Peru, and 9 hours back. Because we had tailwind, so it would be a bit faster. Interesting. Yeah, well, so since I don't know Spanish, perhaps you can tell me a bit what you basically do. I mean, I see you also have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Where you do reviews and so on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So basically, Techandising is a platform because we have the blog, and then we have the social media, and then we have the YouTube channel. You can call it also a social media, but for me it's different because the long format is a more specific format for people that are looking for a deeper information. But the social media for me is much more like a fast content consumption. So for me, they are like two different things. The main one of them all probably is the YouTube channel for me. It's the one that I enjoy the most. But it's true that in the last couple of years, 3 years, the algorithm in YouTube is going to shit. So it's destroying the small channels.
That's actually true. Yeah,
especially if your channel is more than 5 years old, something like. If you create a new channel now, you are much more likely to be shown to the people than if your channel is old, 5 years old or older.
Which is interesting because it used to be the totally other way around.
Yeah, it should. it should. I don't know why they are promoting the new creators. I mean, they should promote, I don't know, the quality overall,
But you're right. If I think about on my start page, I suddenly have videos from creators with like 50 subscribers. And I'm like, how did I get to those,
Yeah,
true.
Exactly.
Actually, it's true. Yeah.
I
mean, it's a respectable size. You have 11,000 subscribers.
Yeah, in YouTube I have 11,300, something like that. Then we have TikTok, which is still small, but is the platform where I have got the biggest impact. Because once I published a video about this chessboard that you see here, where the pieces move by themselves. It's amazing. And I thought that no one was gonna see the video because it's a very niche product and very expensive.
Is it the one where it says Anna Kremling in the thumbnail?
No, that's an interview that I made.
Okay.
To Anna. Yeah,
because
exactly.
I was like, she sounds like a chess player or something.
Yeah. No, Anna Kremling is an amazing chess player.
Okay, that was an interview. Okay.
Yeah. I made an interview. Yeah. But the review of this in TikTok, the reel, has like 1,2700. No, it's 127,000 views. So
I think I found it. I think I found it because there is a short video on YouTube saying chestnut move.
Yeah,
is it that one?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Chestnut move. Chestnut has some amazing products.
Interesting. Yeah, I have to admit, chess was never a thing I learned as a kid. So.
Me neither. I mean, I'm learning now.
Yeah, thanks to being into tech and learning different things. Yeah, but I see you also have things like tiny projectors and
everything
other
stuff. That you can. Everything that you can think of. Lately, I'm very much into the 3D VR XR industry because now I'm part of the. There is like an international association for the augmented reality, extended reality, which is called AIXR. So I am a council member of the AIXR. Then they made me a judge for the International VR Awards that they give once a year. That's great.
Wow.
And one thing calls the other, and now there is an amazing brand which is called XReal. They create augmented reality glasses, and now they made me kind of an ambassador for the brand. So one thing called the other, and at the end, you have plenty of impact in different areas.
So you are kind of an important animal right now.
I'm getting important. I'm getting there.
Yeah. Interesting that you mentioned it because a few years back, we actually interviewed Jerry Ellsworth about her AR technology. So it's really something that is coming again. I remember we had VR in the early 90s, 94, 95. That totally failed, and now it's trying with a comeback.
Yeah. I mean, that the technology is now it has nothing to do with the late 90s. Now is probably the best time for it because now we can create compact devices, lightweight devices. They are not heavy, and and the graphic quality is good enough to enjoy a game. It's not like a AAA game in your gaming computer, but it's good enough to the playability is great now. So I think it's a good timing.
But now the problem is prices in the PC industry for parts.
Yeah, especially for the RAM memory.
RAM, yeah, or even GPUs. Like last week, I bought myself a 1570 Ti 16 gigabytes for 856 euros, and now it's 1,250 euros. Just 7 days later.
Yeah, now you sell it.
Now, but I need the card. It's amazing. And my old card, which is a 4060 that I'm running right now, each week, even on the second-hand market on eBay, it's getting 50 euros more value just by waiting. It's totally crazy. So if it continues like that, then you can't afford the PC running those VR headsets, I'm afraid.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I also prefer the standalone games, the one that you can run into the headset and you get rid of the computer. Right. I love those experiences because it allows you to move more free and be more like in the game. I love that experience. But of course, if you want the best graphic quality, you need to plug the computer to the headset and have a wired connection.
Now the world is waiting for the AI bubble to burst. So prices go back to normal.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's interesting. May I ask you, how did you become aware of our podcast? I mean, we are more retro, and what you do, it doesn't look like really retro tech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do all kind of tech, like anything that has to be with retro. I don't know, like retro small gaming devices. Let me show you. Like this will seem like a Game Boy. This one.
Oh yes. Okay.
But it's an emulator console with thousands of games. Right. I don't know, anything that seems kind of retro, like this retro small TV. So of course,
totally legal, of course.
Yeah. I'm an 80s guy.
Yeah,
I'm from the 82. Right. So I love all
really?
Yeah.
As old as me, oh my god.
Really? You too?
I'm also born 82, yeah.
What's day? Which day?
March 15th.
Okay. I'm a little bit older. I'm from the 1st of January.
Ah, interesting. Happy New Year, happy birthday.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's still better than February 29th,
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. So, I got to know about your platform in the interview that you made to Sayaka.
Oh, yeah, the Italian creator. Yeah, I discovered her before she was famous, and that was my luck.
Now exactly. Now it's impossible to get her attention to do something like this. It's another league,
Yeah, I remember you told me in our email conversation.
Yeah. It was a great conversation that you had with her.
Yeah,
I really love that.
Yeah, but I mean, she was very humble and still is, and it's also doing a side gig. At least she claims, but now it seems to become a full-fledged entity.
Yeah, probably. Now it's big enough to get a paycheck from YouTube.
Definitely, yeah. Especially as a student when you still live at home.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of expenses normally.
Yeah. And now she has her mother too, creating videos. I don't know if you have seen her.
No, I didn't check it out yet.
Something like 8-bit Mama or something like that.
Interesting.
I think it's
Have to check it out.
yeah.
Well,
Great channel.
from what I know, her parents are Japanese or something. That is why
I
she
don't
has
know.
a Japanese name. But never,
I
I
don't
never
know.
really digged into that family ties thing. So you are following the retro.
Yeah, I
scene
try
as
to follow
well.
everything regarding
Okay.
tech.
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting. But the channel and what you are creating is mostly on new tech, because I
Yes.
see folding smartphones and stuff.
Yes, because I just started creating content
Mm-hmm.
when I was having my Master of Science in the university, which
Mm-hmm.
was in Madrid, because I'm originally from a small city in Spain called Badajoz,
So
which
you
is very
moved kind
close.
of.
Yeah, exactly. And I moved to Madrid to have the university there. So during my time there, like 2004, 2005, I started writing posts for Android and iPhone blogs, very small posts. Then I started collaborating with a huge blog in Spain. They are amazing creator, which is called Clipset, and they are very important in YouTube. They have more than 2 million subscribers in YouTube, and I still make some things nowadays from time to time.
As a freelancer,
And
I guess.
no, as a for free. I mean,
Contributing editor,
yeah,
kind of.
it's exactly.
I see.
So I have been writing in different posts my whole life almost. So I think it was just at the beginning of COVID-19 that I decided to create my own platform, because writing for the rest is great, but writing for yourself is probably better.
That's true. Yeah.
So that's when I started, and I just kept doing what I was doing before, which is reviewing the newest technology, creating news articles, and so regarding the newest technology, and it's especially reviews. Yeah, I would say that my specialty is the reviews of the latest technology.
And you decide to stick with Spanish because it's easier in a niche for a smaller audience?
In part, yes. And
Okay.
also because the audience is huge, because it's not only Spain, it's all Latin America.
Yeah, of course. I see.
So
Peru, Argentina,
Mexico is
and so
huge.
on and so
Yeah.
on. Yeah. But
So
it
my
isn't
second
Brazil.
country with the most
Brazil.
viewers is Mexico.
Interesting, Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess also if you are entering an English speaking sphere, you have like hundreds of thousands of competition, because everybody is doing English channels.
Yeah. It's more difficult, and then for the brands, because sometimes I work with the brands, and sometimes I work with the press and communication agencies that are managing the communication for the brands. But in both ways, in both cases, they can send you some devices so that you create the review, but I need to communicate with the press agency of, I don't know, Huawei in Spain, and they are like expecting content that will engage with the Spanish community, because it's the Spanish agency letting me the device. So if I start in Spain creating content in English, the Spanish agencies will not get anything from sending me the device, because it's going to be announced in other countries, not in Spain.
Yeah,
so,
totally get you. We actually have a similar problem, because it's my postal address in the imprint of our homepage. So whenever I approach companies, they always think that we need content in German. I'm like, no, we are international. And then, English.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Totally weren't prepared for that.
Exactly.
So when we were at Gamescom last year, and we had this Room 66, a publisher from Japan interview, and they actually hired a guy from Gamescom to translate German to Japanese and the other way around. And then we were like, no, we need English. So they hired the wrong person,
That's the wrong person.
but he had to pull through anyway. I mean, English.
Yeah.
Oh well, I can also do English. No problem. Yeah. So sometimes I'm like, yeah, but despite I'm from Germany, we are not doing German content. So be prepared. But it's sometimes a shock for agencies, as you say. Also, they want to know what your target audience is, and I'm like, we are global. We don't have a specific region of target audience. I'm like, that's a problem, and I'm like, why is that a problem? That should be positive. I don't know. I mean, if sometimes I look at statistics, I don't know. Like last week, a specific topic. The fifth most visitors were from China. So I don't know. Other companies would be happy about that, to have a wider reach, more distinguished audience. But I get what you see. Marketing companies and departments are mostly focused on specific regions of the world, which is somehow outdated, because this is the internet nowadays.
Yeah, but I think in the big brands and big corporates, each country almost works like a different company.
That's true.
They are like different small companies. They are not a whole big company operating worldwide. But in your case, I think it totally makes sense to go globally. Also, like for example, Sayakas, she's creating the videos in English, and then I don't know why she's creating also in Italian, because it has a lot of effort. And at the end of the day, it's a very small
it's actually true.
audience.
That's actually true.
It's called my attention. I mean, why are you doing it? Because in English, it makes all the sense, because you don't need companies to send you the latest smartphone to review. I mean, you are creating, I don't know, interesting content that can be used worldwide. So stick to English and put your effort into English.
Yeah. But I mean, there are other creators doing that. For example, in the PC world, the most famous YouTuber in Germany for hardware news and tech would be der Bauer. And he is doing 2 channels like she. In German and in English. So the exact same video in English and in German. I'm like, why? Because I mean, since I'm in the retro community, most Italians I talk to, like 99%, they are fluent in English, because let's be honest, in this retro scene, if you don't know English, you are losing 90% of the content.
For sure. For sure.
So it's not making sense to stick to your local language. I mean, for example, the IDE 64 controller comes from the Czech Republic. Gideon Schweizer's Ultimate 64 Netherlands. Or the new Unithor joystick comes from Poland. So in the retro community, there is no not so much localized scene anymore. I mean, there are a few Polish disc magazines, for example, but a minority, really. But I guess she started it like that, and she will continue like that. And I don't know if you remember, but in the interview she also said she would perhaps do a Japanese channel.
Spanish, and in Spanish also. She said.
But she didn't do that yet, from what I know. No. So thank God, because she would be overwhelmed with even more. So I'm just scrolling through. I just see the Game Boy clone you showed me. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's a very nice one.
Yeah. I mean, looking at those things, are there some things you are looking forward to in the future? I mean, for example, personally, I'm waiting for my Pebble Watch, to be honest.
It's not a very nice device, right?
Yeah, because I used to have the original Pebble, and I see you also have smartwatches that you reviewed. And I mean, let's be honest, they are all very much the same. OLED display, short battery life. It's like, well, so I don't know. So it's quite important that we have fresh air there, and it's good actually that we mention it because our next guest after you will actually be Eric Mityszkowski, the inventor of the peppers. So that will be pretty.
That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So let me ask you, what is your plan for the future? As you said, it's more like a side gig, not your day job. But obviously, you are planning to grow. Otherwise, we wouldn't do this interview.
Yeah.
Right. So, what are your plans, if I may ask?
I'm trying to, first of all, probably understand the YouTube algorithm now, because I want to make friends with the YouTube algorithm. Because otherwise you are out. I mean, you can put all the effort that you want in your videos and create great thumbnails and everything that you want and everything that they will tell you that you need to do. And still, if the algorithm doesn't like you, you're out. So I'm trying to really get to understand how to make the most out of it. And then I want to grow by enjoying what I do. So, some years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, when I started, I was always looking for what the people want to see in the channel, what are the keywords that are being more used, and things like that to get the most of the traffic. Now that I don't have much free time to do that, what I want to do is review the devices that I am really interested in. Like, for example, very soon I will create a review of a smart telescope. And now I'm getting into the smart astronomy, if you want to call it, with smart telescopes, which is amazing. So I enjoy that. Then I create a review, and then I will go to smart glasses, and if I like it, I will make the review. But it's not the pressure of what's the latest device that people is looking for. Now I want to enjoy what I do because I have so little time to create the videos in my life that I need to enjoy what I do. And I hope that the algorithm will, follow my enthusiasm and help me grow in that way. So maybe I will create less videos, but I will try to create them better. And I will try. And probably I want to create also content videos, like divulgatory videos regarding tutorials maybe, or knowledge videos, not only reviews, but more time agnostic videos, because the reviews have a very short lifetime. You have to create the review in the first week when a device is out on the market. If you create the review like 3 weeks after that, you are going to get very, very few visits. It's not worth it. And 6 months after a device is launched, no one is going to be to see your videos. So the life of the reviews is very, very short, and it's very hard to get the impact. So I want to create a different content, less depending on the time.
Interesting. So is your goal to make a living out of that, or is that out of the question?
It would be great.
Okay.
But probably I will keep working on my job. So if I could have both things and grow in both things, that would be great. Depending only on a YouTube channel is very, very risky, in my opinion.
True. Yeah, I see. I mean, especially if you look into AI and lots of creators getting hacked lately. Even big channels with experts like Linus Sebastian with his Linus Media Group, LTT, he got hacked at 3 a.m. in the night because he wasn't very awake and aware, and he clicked on a link in a phishing email, and then they stole his session cookie from the browser cache, and I was like, okay. So you can even be hacked this way without stealing passwords and so on.
It's very risky.
It's very risky nowadays. Yeah. It's true.
And then not only because they can steal your channel, also because you can grow and invest a lot of money. You can have, because now I'm alone creating all the videos, editing, I don't know, everything that you can think of. But when you have a team working with you, if you are big enough to have a team working with you, and you create dependency on other people, and you have to pay them, it's very risky that now YouTube changes the algorithm, and now your channel goes. So, what can you do with the people depending on you? I prefer to avoid that situation for now, for the time being.
You don't want to be responsible for a whole staff. Okay.
I want to have a B plan, like a plan B, but I don't want this to be the only option that I have in my life, because I think it's very risky. Unless you are like mega huge, very, very big, then maybe you are almost a monopoly, and everything that you touch turn into gold. Then okay, but if you are a regular person, I prefer to sleep good, sleep well at night. I think it's better.
It's true. Yeah, it's also not the thing I would like to do for a living. It's true. Yeah. Well, I mean, at least you have some, hopefully, some income you can put to the side as savings or whatever, right? So it's probably more like that. Yeah. It's quite interesting that you have such a wide range of interest. I mean, you mentioned VR, you mentioned chess development in the chess world, and as to say, looking in the sky and stuff. So a lot of things going on. So you develop a lot of new hobbies.
Too many.
Too many.
Too many is, if you ask my wife, she will tell you. Like I am the responsible of my own problem, which is not having time for anything.
Okay.
But I keep on bringing new hobbies. It's I can't help it.
Always be curious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I mean, I also see how it is when it's totally the opposite. Like my parents, they basically understand not anything in tech. It's very like, oh my god. And I really hope that in 20, 30 years, I will not kind of stop learning, because it must be difficult. And also I see that I don't know if you have this experience yourself, but I find it interesting that there's also kind of a gap between expectations between different generations of users. For example, when I come across people in their 20s on Discord, they are like super surprised that I know how Discord works. With 43, I'm too old for this new tech. How I'm supposed to know that? And I'm like, well, I'm using internet since 25 years. I guess I learned it. But they're like, oh wow, oh my god, really? You are so smart. I'm like, no, it's just experience, It's just experience. It has nothing to do with being smart, And on the other hand, you have people. I guess you call them Gen Z. Who never touched a computer, only smartphones.
Yeah.
And they are totally lost with anything. I mean, for example, here in Germany we have packet automation machines. So you bring in your parcel, you scan you scan your barcode, and then then a door opens, and you put in your parcel in the machine, and this way you ship your parcel. And the new machines are Bluetooth driven. And I kid you not, I was standing there wanting to send off my parcel, and in front of me were like two guys, perhaps in their 20s, and for the life of them, they couldn't connect the Bluetooth from their smartphone to the machine. I was like, I was almost like, should I explain to them how Bluetooth works? Should I ask them if I can help? No, Bluetooth isn't like opening your cradle, take out your earpods, and it's automatically connecting.
No, yeah.
That's not how Bluetooth is supposed to work. That is how Apple makes it work, but that's not how it works normally.
Exactly.
And it's like and I don't know, and those people, sadly, they never had this basic knowledge of troubleshooting tech issues. I don't know how it is in Spain, but I see that in Germany a lot, that younger people are not growing up with the tech knowledge that we used to have 20 years ago.
Yeah, I think you are right, totally right. And in Spain, it's basically the same. If you think people born in the 80s and maybe 90s a little bit, we started growing up, especially 80s, in a world without this technology. So you had to learn from the analogic world to the digital world. And you, if you are a little bit curious, you had the opportunity to understand the basics, to understand how digital works, what's binary, what was the radio frequency, and these kind of things, because we saw it from the very beginning. We saw internet being born, you know. So it was a great time to be alive, actually. And now you have the what we call in Spain is a digital native. So people
Yeah,
that
you
have
say it in English too. Digital natives is the English
exactly.
term. Yeah.
Exactly, you know, and of course they are very good using user interfaces, but not understanding the technology.
They type
Exactly.
very fast on the touch screen.
Exactly. That, you know, I have seen many times people with small kids, like I don't know, a 5-year-old little boy, and they give the iPad to the boy, and the boy starts, you know, touching the iPad and moving around, and they say, "My kid's amazing because you know he can use the iPad like a pro." I mean, that's not because he's very smart. That's because the iPad is very well designed for the user experience.
True.
Because it's very easy.
True.
But in the
Yeah.
times when I was a little kid, it wasn't easy, you know.
It's true. It's true.
So that's why
Yeah.
we had to fight with that, and of course, fighting against the odds makes you more with a more, I don't know, experience and expertise in any
Resilient.
subject. It's resilient. So I think it's a very, very important difference. Exactly. But
Oh
they
my
are now
God.
experts in TikTok, and I almost hate TikTok, you know.
Yeah. It's interesting you say you hate this TikTok, but on the other hand, you started the interview saying that TikTok is your most successful
It's
place.
the one, yeah, exactly, because and that's why I can't understand it, and that's why I hate it, because you can create the most I don't know, shorts, little shit video there, and
yeah.
and people love it, and I don't really understand why. Yeah.
Well, I've read it has to do with the reduced attention span of the latest generation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And
like-
it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
60 seconds is almost too
Yeah.
much.
Too much.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. It's interesting. Yeah, so I see a lot of parallels. So let me ask you, what content are you consuming basically besides from Spanish? Are you checking out the big tech channels like LTT? Are you into tech retro YouTube channels like the vintage no, I forgot it, Modern Vintage Gamer, and so on? What is actually I would say your playground in daily life besides creating yourself?
If you see my YouTube tutorial, it's very, very strange what I consume, because you can find there some gameplay. I like to see some gameplays of specific games, like not very much, because otherwise I will be on Twitch, and I almost never use it.
Really?
But yeah, very, very few times I use that because I don't have time. My problem is time. So, you have to focus. But besides that, I would say other reviewers, because I like to learn from their style and, get new ideas of the different points that maybe I haven't talked about in the past. And then I bring it to my channel in the future reviews. And then typically music, that I always work with background music. I like instrumental music, epic music. Helps me a lot, epic music. And ASMR to have a good sleep.
Oh
I
gosh,
like it
yeah,
too.
but there are some disgusting
Yeah,
ASMR
of
channels.
course.
I mean, I remember I had to unsubscribe a creator because she started from being a Twitch streamer for a Counter-Strike, and then she switched into ASMR. And I learned there are some attachments from microphones to lick on the microphone. And the image of this, it's like the worst nightmare. I'm like, how can people find this exciting? I don't understand.
No.
But I'm like, oh my god, unsubscribing. I don't want to watch somebody licking on a microphone.
No, not at all. No, there is some pretty weird stuff in the ASMR industry that I try to avoid, but there are some other users that are good. And then there are a few channels that I love. I'm looking for them because some of the names I don't remember. One of them, of course, is, I don't know if you know it, is Captain Disillusion. Do you know him?
No.
So it's a guy that will talk about any kind of special effects or any oaks that it's made with special effect, but millions of people are falling for this. So he brings a video and explains you every single thing about the video, the format, the beats, the everything. And I don't know, maybe it takes 2-3 months him to create one video because it has so much effort on it, and it's Captain Disillusion. It's great. There are some other like Corridor Digital that explains you about visual effects, because I love visual effects and post production. So yeah, there are a few more videos or channels that I like, but Captain Disillusion definitely is one that I would recommend people to check because it's amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's also changing with time what people consider special effects. And for Christmas, I actually got myself a Blu-ray copy of The Wizard of Oz. And probably know a very famous movie from 90 years ago. 90. And they used color as a special effect. The first movie that was in color as a special effect. 1936.
Amazing.
The color wasn't very common, and it's also interesting. I saw once a video about how Technicolor worked until the 70s, actually, by recoloring black and white material, by creating the different shades of gray, so to get to understand what the original color was in the real world when they were filming it. It's such an amazing thing. I mean, nowadays it's easier. Nowadays you have AI, and it does it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
But back then it was a lot more difficult,
We are getting lazy.
Yeah, well, it depends. I mean, I don't know how you see it, but I think AI also has some advantages. For example, in medicine, an AI algorithm can detect small areas of cancer cells a lot better than the doctor and his human eye. So when it comes to that, I would trust an AI algorithm perhaps more than a doctor with his
Yeah.
limited visibility. Or, for example, I don't know if you have heard the story, half a year ago, they restored from the Nintendo satellite system from the 90s. They actually restored lost F-Zero courses based on a VHS recording that Japanese uploaded on YouTube.
Oh my God.
And they feeded this VHS recording to an AI bot, and he created the missing tracks and the missing scenery and so on. It's like amazing. So basically, it recreated something that isn't there anymore. Which, as you know, as a tech guy yourself, you always said back then you can't recreate something that is lost.
Yeah, exactly.
And now it's like, algorithm can fill in the blanks.
Can interpolate the missing part.
Yes, it's incredible. And then they got some artists to touch up and make it pretty, and now they basically have restored a game based on a VHS recording. It's absolutely amazing. So
crazy.
So when people are always saying AI is bad and is taking our jobs away and obviously making hardware now more expensive, it also has good sides. It's really depending on what you use it for. It's a tool.
No, exactly.
This is how I see it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I think for inspiration, it's amazing, and for thinking outside the box, it's great. If you have to, if it's something that can be critical for the decision making, you have to be very careful when you believe everything that the AI is telling you.
That's also true. Yeah,
but overall, it's great. Yeah. It has hallucinations.
Right. I was asking Copilot to help me with calculations of my tax return papers. I was like, wait a second, that doesn't make sense what you calculate there. It was like, yeah, you are totally right. I made a mistake here. I'm like, okay.
It will never happen again. And again, it happened.
Yeah, exactly. And then yeah. Or for example, I asked it to make a basic program for Hangman that runs on the Commodore 64, and whenever it doesn't know a command, it makes a command up, And I no, that's not proper basics. That won't run. And he's like, you're totally right. That's not a proper command. I will fix that in a minute. And then it's still broken on a different place. So yeah. So you have to be very, very careful.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So I guess we have to see how the bubble bursts, and then in which areas, like medicine, research, preservation, restoring old documents, movies, games, it can be used to benefit the society. But the overhype doesn't help anybody.
Exactly.
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, you are spending more paying a developer fixing the coding errors an AI made than having two coders in the first place working as a team.
Yeah.
But I see the higher apps doesn't understand that. They only see they see the payroll.
Yeah.
And like,
I think if you are dealing with programmers, it's a great tool to help a good programmer, because it's like having 4 instead of 1. But you need to have a very, very skilled programmer, and they understand how they can get the most of this specific AI, and they connect this AI with this other specifically for this, and then it's like having an army of developers.
Yeah.
But if you are like a regular developer, I have been a developer back in the years, and I cannot get any useful output from the AI, beyond a very basic use. You have to be a very good developer to really understand how to get the most out of it.
True. Yeah. So where do you see the future? I mean, what do you think will be the future? Will it turn out with AI like Terminator, that we have Skynet someday and robots are destroying humans because we are so inefficient and wasteful? Or do you
I don't know.
think not much will change in the next years?
I think I see more humans destroying humans than robots destroying humans. Probably,
Okay.
probably, especially seeing the latest, news worldwide. I'm more
That's also
afraid
true.
of humans.
That's also true.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
think that we will still see some very interesting use cases of the AI, and I think it will have a bigger impact in our lives in the way of personal assistants in wearable devices, in integrated in everything that you have in your home. Like, now we have fridges with internet, but we will
Right.
have fridges with AI, washing machine with AI, the lights, or a central hub in your home with AI controlling everything. Most like in the film Her.
Yeah, I saw that
You know
movie. Yeah.
exactly. So I think that we still need to see this kind of impacts in our lives and things that we can't imagine yet, uh, before having a Skynet taking the control of of all the machines in the world. I
Right.
think we need more consumer-centric use cases that will probably make our life easier, and hopefully it will not make us more full. Which is my the fear that I have is that we are getting more and more dumb.
Yeah. Well, I have to admit, I I sometimes fall in the same trap, and I see like, oh, I'm using ChatGPT more as a Google replacement, despite I know better that I shouldn't. But I still do it because I want to know what the AI is thinking. Instead
Yeah,
of Googling, I'm still doing it,
yeah.
despite I should know better.
I have to say that I have been thinking about this, and I think a big part of the guilt here is uh, Google's, because Google has been pushing the content creators in their blogs and platforms to create posts following what the algorithm wants. So now, if you want to open a post, I don't know if you are looking for the best hotels in Mallorca,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
Before opening the post, I already know that I'm going to find one paragraph of the introduction, one paragraph about the weather in Mallorca, one paragraph about, and then at the end of the post, you will find 5 hotels. Okay?
True, true.
But if I go to ChatGPT, I can skip all that shit
You're
and go straight
actually
to the
right.
point.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's the Google's guilt. That's on them because they have been pushing the algorithm to work like that.
Nice place, by the way. I've been in Mallorca in 2011. But I remember I've been there and I found the city so dead during the day. I
Mm.
was like, how can people survive? The only thing I see is restaurants and a
Yeah,
few clothes stores. But I found the city center of Madrid pretty empty. I don't know if that was just my perspective as a tourist, but
yeah, in Madrid in August is great. I mean, the 16 years that I have been living in Madrid, for me the perfect timing was during summer because all the people from Madrid are escaping to the beaches, and then tourists they come, but not that much during summer. So you can be finally, you know, uh, in a quiet place, not surrounded by 1,000 people, and there wasn't any queues in the restaurant and the Museo del Prado. It was like the perfect time to be there when everybody's escaping from the city.
I mean, I have to admit the most embarrassing were probably the German tourist and the British. uh, totally drunk.
Yeah,
Like, oh my god. Oh
yeah.
my god, you know? Right.
In
Uh,
Mallorca, they have a lot of problems with that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, you know, at least the German tourists, they will keep their clothes on. But the British are like, I don't care, I don't care. And I'm like, man, have some decency, You are in a foreign country. But on the other hand, Germans, they are like, the average German tourist is like, I don't know English, no idea what they are saying at the airport.
Yeah.
I'm like, well...
When we see all the tourists from Germany and from UK, we feel bad for them because we see you walking maybe on the beach without the t-shirt, and you are all very white, and we know that you are going to have a very
burn.
bad skin burn, very bad.
God.
The day after that, you are all red, and we are like, oh my god.
Actually interesting, I didn't have this problem in Spain. I was very lucky there, and I didn't have the problem a year later in Brazil, but I had the problem in Peru. When I was in Peru, because Peru is a higher altitude.
Mm-hmm.
And stupid me, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So despite there's no sun, it's cloudy, you still get the sunburn for life as a white person. Because of the higher altitude.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. And I was there 3 weeks, and on the first day I actually had to go to the pharmacy.
The first day?
First day already. Oh my god, yeah. And then I was red like a lobster for a week.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, that was the hardest sunburn in my life. And none of my Peruvian friends warned me. Nobody said like, you sunblock or something. They all let me suffer,
Good friends.
Yeah. At least they helped me translating at the pharmacy. So
that's the good.
That's the good thing. Yeah, well, at least I have good foreign health insurance. At least I got the money back for the drugs.
Oh,
so
great.
They reimbursed me. Yeah. But still, that was like, oh my god. And since then I know, check the climate first.
Yeah. Now you learn the lesson, so that's good.
Exactly. Higher altitude, more dangerous. Yeah. It's not about how hot it is and how much sun is visible.
Totally.
Yeah, right. That was my experience so far. Yeah, well, I learned a lot today. I'm really very, very happy that we spoke.
My pleasure.
Let me ask you, where can people find your stuff, basically?
The easiest way is if you go into Google and search for Techandising, you are going to find both the blog and the YouTube channel and the social media. So usually have everything linked one place to another. So whenever you go, you will find the rest of the network. But in all of them, in all the social networks, the username is always Techandising.
You're really lucky there.
Yeah.
You found a name that nobody else has. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but when you are writing this in Google thinks that you are mistaking the letters. And, it's always suggesting, you want to say merchandising? No, I want to say Techandising. What? Merchandising? No,
exactly. And I like the tagline. Techandising, we are technology.
Yeah, exactly.
Spot on.
Exactly.
So you are all round over. You have your blog as set on your homepage, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X, Twitch.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so much. And you even got an Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon.
The Amazon referral
interesting.
products.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, you even got one of those keyboards with a touch screen.
Yeah.
From Corsair. I have to admit I can't use those gimmicky keyboards anymore because I'm typing so much they always die after 2 years.
Yeah, it happens to me too.
So nowadays I got a mechanical wired keyboard, sturdy. It cost me 200 euros, but it's rock
reliable.
solid. It's reliable, exactly. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, well, thanks a lot for your time.
Very, very nice to talk to you. Take care.
Same. Bye-bye.
Bye.